Osprey Athletic Center for an OCAA tournament qualifying game between the Mohawk Mountaineers and the Seneca Sting. I'm Liam Dunlop alongside Nick Burney, and we'll hear from Christine Midgley in just a little bit. The winner of this goes on to the OCAA championship tournament, and the losers, they go home. So,
this is it.
So what do you think Mohawk can do to move on?
Well, I think there's going to be a few keys for Mohawk in this one, and one has been get the offense going. If you've been watching any of the Mohawk Mountaineers basketball games of late and early in this 2016 turn, the offense hasn't been there. There's been really no consistency offensively. It feels like we're waiting for them to explode, so that's one major key. A second key tonight, going up against a team like Seneca, they are sort of a one-man offense. Joshua York Frazier has been their best player this year, 16 points per game on average. So it's kind of like that's the one major key that they want to really hound in on. I will say that they really play a team defensive style game, but that will be important for them tonight. Also, a third point for Mohawk, just keeping the focus. Due to those last few games, the way they ended the season, it feels like there is a little bit of a lack of focus. Maybe that 40-minute game, a full 40 minutes, really hasn't been played in a while, so something to look forward to for Mohawk.
And for Seneca, they're coming in 9-11, not really a chip on their shoulders, but what can they do to knock off Mohawk?
I will say, if Seneca wants to be successful tonight, they're going to need a couple things. One, long-range strikes. They need to be able to get their three-point shot, and they need to be able to consistently make it. So not only get the open threes, but hitting those shots. Secondly, they need to slow this game down. This is not going to be a game that's winnable for Seneca if they actually play a high-paced and fast-paced game. They try to run with Mohawk, they're going to end up running themselves out of the building because Mohawk, as we know, very good offensively when the ball's in transition. And thirdly, which Sting will we see?
Exactly.
5-game win streak to start the year, and now, of course, 7-game losers going into the playoffs. So very interesting and very unique kind of scenario for Seneca coming in tonight.
Christine is with us on the sidelines. What do you got for us, Christine?
I talked to Coach Jonker about what to expect in tonight's game. Seneca College big on the three-pointers, so it's important to keep them on the outside. Really test the shots and take advantage of any rebounds, something Mohawk excels at. Now, Mohawk's offensive efficiency has been down the last few games. Jonker says in order to get back on track, they just need to take better shots, keep moving the ball, and quite simply, just win the game. Liam, Nick, back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Christine. We're just waiting for O Canada to stop rolling, and then we'll get you the starters. All right, beautiful rendition. And the starters for Mohawk, Kareem Collins, Kojo Afari, Jeff Hunt, Lamar Barr, and O.J. Watson. 3 of those players, this will be their last home game at Mohawk. O.J. Watson, Jeff Hunt, and Kojo Afari. And what a great career they've all had. A wonderful career. I mean, Jeff Hunt, of course, becoming the most winning player in, I think, OCAA history, let alone Mohawk College. So what a terrific way to hopefully get Jeff's career, to an end, hopefully winning tonight, not only in their last game here, but taking themselves into the playoff format further. So as we move forward, as you said, hopefully some good things for the Mountaineers going forward. But like you just mentioned, those 3 guys will be very key players and very important to the success of the team tonight. And for Seneca, Joshua York Frazier, as we talked about in the open, Kevin Cornwall, Tevin Goodrich, Jermaine Hall, and Zachary Fox Tapper. All these guys are from around the Toronto area, and so they all got to grow up together. But as we were talking about before the game, they've had 18 different people, different men wear this jersey this year. So how's continuity, do you think, going to be? I think that'll be one of the things that'll come out early in this game. As we've talked about continuity, 18 players, the most players used by any team thus far. So clearly a lot of different guys have been, a revolving door almost to see what kind of roster they're going to create. But again, 5 wins to start the year, 7-game losing streak to end the year. That's a very unique scenario. You don't often see teams get so hot and then go so cold. So what I'm looking for is as the year's gone on, is this going to be able to eventually come to a point where they tighten up, or are we just going to continue to see a downfall? Because realistically, what things should point to in this one is a Mohawk win based off what we've seen the 2 do coming into this. Yes, Mohawk has been just as, slumpy in the late goings, but not as bad. So still the advantage should be in the Mountaineers' hands. But at the game of basketball and in the world of sports, anything can happen. Just ask Mike Tyson when he had to face Buster Douglas. So we will see. We're just about to tip off here. Thank you for joining us on YouTube at MLink, and don't forget to subscribe as well. The jump will be taken between Cornwall and Hunt. Cornwall bats it down, but it goes right to Collins. Kareem Collins has been an absolute stud for Mohawk these last couple games. Afari inside Hunt. Easy layup and finishes.
Good start for Mohawk. Get the ball down to their big guy, Jeff, trying to make himself a presence down low, back to the basket, easy hoop.
Fox Tapper will be the point guard. He goes left side to Goodrich. Quick handoff to Hall. Hall's only played in 10 games, but he's still averaging 13 points per. There's Fox Tapper. Good defense by Mohawk. Goodrich. Goodrich gave it off to York Fraser, and he misses his first shot. So we're going to see if that was great defense, though.
I will say that the way they traveled there with the ball, terrific work from Seneca to get it from one side to the other, but even better work by the Mountaineers to kind of stick with it, not allow any kind of real drive to the lane, force the outside shot with the shot clock coming down.
Collins hands it off to Barr up top. There's always a lot of movement in this offense as Afari. Backdoor. Watson with the slam!
And that is exactly what you want. Early in the game, get the crowd into it, get in their face, be right up towards the basket. He goes up strong, doesn't even take a second. Decided within milliseconds he was going up strong with that, and that's exactly what you want.
Take another look at that. Wow.
No hesitation. That's what you got to love on that play from Watson.
Good work by Barr fighting.
And that's just a good aggressive play on the side. I know that some people don't like to see too much of the rough stuff, but honestly, those are two guys right there, strong guys going for the ball. That's what you want to see in this kind of playoff atmosphere type game.
And I like how Barr helped him up afterwards, and Goodrich really respected that. Good defense. 5 seconds. That's what you like to see.
Wow. I was actually thinking he was about to get that off in time. You don't often see that call made, so quite good pressure from Barr and Mohawk.
Yeah. Minute in, 4-0 for Mohawk. Afari has it. Looks straight to the basket, but they're going to swing it all the way right side. Watson almost throws it away, but Collins throws it away. Collins tried to keep it in, and I think it slipped right off the fingers of his left hand.
Just a little bit of a risky pass, but I think the ideas from Mohawk are cut to the basket. Let's get the easy buckets if we can. Try and drive them and earn some fouls and create some problems for them early.
Here's Fox Tapper. Big pick set there by Cornwall. Stripped away by Hunt, and let's see what Watson can do this time. Watson,
there it is again. Just physical with that right hand, I must say. Watching him has been a pleasure in the first minute and a half here.
Oh my goodness. But that's a straight out rejected.
Get out of my house.
I don't know if that was.
Get out of my province.
I don't know if that was Collins or that was Afari, but somebody rejected that. And it's just, those are the plays that you like to see from Mohawk, just exciting plays that get the crowd into it.
And I must say, it's that kind of momentum that you want early. You need this. I know that they have the crowd behind them regardless, but this is the kind of thing you need to make sure the crowd's with you. Get a little bit on Seneca, make them think a little twice, make them a little nervous right now. This is what they're doing.
Jonathan Harvey takes off Fox Tapper, and they go right at him. They're going to say last touch by Hunt.
And I agree with Hunt and Collins there, arguing with the refs. Felt like it went off the back of the Seneca Sting defender. I don't think Hunt actually did get the last touch.
Switching up, who's taking the ball up is Jermaine Hall. Jermaine Hall crosses, goes behind his back. Big pit set there by Cornwall again. Left side, Harvey, air ball.
And Seneca not able to hit those shots thus far early.
Let's see if Hunt will. He had it. He'll just step up a little bit and throw it in. Not really confident in his three-point shot, so he steps in and takes a 18-foot jumper, and why not? 8-0 now for Mohawk. Nice aggressive take by Hall. He misses. They're going to call a foul.
I will say a bit of a late call there by the ref underneath. Felt like there was a late slap, I believe. But
I think that goes against Lamar Barr.
Take a look on the replay here. I think it was Barr's left hand.
Yep. Free throw is good.
Finally, Seneca with their first points. And like I said before, a couple missed shots on those first few trips. I also find their offense a little bit slow to find the open man on the double.
Both were good for Goodrich. Watson into Barr. Good defense there by Harvey to take it in the chest, but they said last touch off him. No foul on the play.
And I think Barr getting called there on the push. A bit of a unique call considering he really only backed into the defender. I didn't think he did much there.
Yeah, 2 fouls quick on Barr. Only 3 minutes in. Hall dribbling back and forth. York Frazier here. We talked about him in the open. He's their go-to guy. Throws it up. Nice into Harvey. Hall, corner 3. Yes.
Oh, my. Wide open. And that was the play they had from the opposite corner before and missed with an air ball. So Seneca finally able to make one of those shots.
And they get it into Watson, and Watson with a quick 6 points. Good find by Barr. It was a little bit of a risky pass. Take another look at that triple. Nice looking release from the corner. York Frazier gives it off to Hall and tipped out by Barr. So no back and forth called. 5 on the shot clock. Hall has it. Double team. Nice pass into Harvey.
That's what you get for leaving a man like Taylor down low. Jeez. Wide open.
Quick passing. Watson wants the corner triple. Just off this time.
And you can see the flood out. Seneca.
Hall's rushing the floor. Great work by Hunt, excuse me. And Hall. Hall to finish. Hunt to defensively keep his arms up. Taken away. York Frazier goes up.
And what pressure right now from Seneca. And you can see it in the way that you've been calling it. It's back and forth. You can barely get the names out of your mouth. It's just Seneca really now pressuring the full court press here, if not maybe more of a 3/4, half court, but starting to get into it a bit and putting the pressure on Mohawk. Suddenly this 8-0 lead is 10-9.
Afari and Barr to take a seat for Ryan Durnick and Pat Ivoroni. Pat Ivoroni, this will also be his last game at the Mohawk Gymnasium as a player. I could really see Patrick Ivoroni going into coaching basketball. He just loves it so much.
I think one of the things that's impressed me the most from my few games getting to watch Pat in person has been the ability of his game defensively. The size of the man does not matter. It's the heart and the ability, and he's shown that. He's defended guys much bigger than him, much stronger by appearance. Does not seem to make a difference with Pat Ivoroni against them. He seems to shut everyone down equally the same.
York Frazier with a carry. He was going a little too fast for his arms. He is so quick back and forth, though.
I think that's one thing, like I mentioned earlier. Seneca does have some speedy guys, but this is not the game they want to play with Mohawk is speed, because Dornick and Mohawk, the guys they have at the point position in the back end, much too good, far too good with the handles on the ball and the smart moves that they make when they are decisions with passes.
Dornick has it up top. Gives it off to Hunt. Hunt hands it off. Collins up and under, and he finishes with a little scoop. York Frazier almost lets it go slide right between his hands. He carries all the time. Dornick cuts him off, but
Hall
takes it up.
Bit of a silly play there.
They're going to call the foul. I think that's going to go against Collins.
And I feel like Seneca a bit loosey-goosey the way that they handle the ball. Mohawk has been very aggressive, doubling quite often as they hit the top of the three-point arc, but Seneca not yet found a way to really adjust to that, and they don't seem to be controlling the ball with much more care.
Clear with the ball up top. Gleer, excuse me. Good. Off the backboard slam by Cornwall. Ivoroni gives it off to Deli. Deli sees the court. In the corner for three.
And there's
OJ
a
Watson
beautiful finish. If there's one guy who's been all over the place offensively and he's been doing everything for them right now, it's OJ Watson. He hasn't missed a shot in the early going.
Goodrich has it left side. He's trying to move the traffic. Swings it outside to Gleer. All the way left side, Hall. He hit it from the other side. Not this time. Hunt, one-handed rebound.
Giveaway right back, though, and chances here. Seneca just making the smart little plays, that hanging around and forcing stupid, really, mistakes from Mohawk on inbounds. And you know this is the place where Brian Jonker does not want to turn the ball over in their own end under their own basket. And literally 3 of the last 5 possessions, that is exactly what the Mountaineers have done. So they've got to get things sorted out here.
Hall will go to the line for 2 shots as we see Jordan Burton come on the floor, number 7 there, coming in to match up against Hunt. Hall hits both. See what Ivoroni can do. Hands it off to Durnik up top. Hunt looks inside, doesn't like what he sees. Durnik cuts left, wants the shot. Doesn't go.
And again, good boxing out there from Seneca. Wasn't a lot of white down in the paint, so Mohawk need to be a little more aggressive, go after those offensive boards.
Hall, 1-2 steps it. Clear pump fakes. He cuts in, hands it off. Burton misses. Good pass out by Ivoroni, but great steal by Cornwall. And Cornwall throws it right to me.
We just got a souvenir up here. I'm dead serious. I hope someone puts a camera on us, one of our fine cameramen, because we should get an instant replay on that.
I almost dislocated my shoulder catching that ball.
Liam showed that at one point in time he did play baseball as a youth.
Maybe a little bit. Cut inside. Good finish by Hall, and Jermaine Hall's been a spark plug so far, shooting the outside game, cutting inside. And now Seneca takes the lead 16-15, and Durnik takes it up. He misses, but Watson is there for the rebound. Durnik cuts outside. Hunt inside Deli. Deli pump fakes, pushes off, gets it up, and nothing.
A little strong there. I think Mohawk needs to take those kind of offensive rebounds and try and reset the offense more if they can. Be a little more patient.
Gleer pump fakes, cuts baseline, handoff. Durnik with the steal. Chucks it up a little wild for Ivoroni, but he goes up and gets it like a wide receiver.
And I'm pretty impressed by Ivoroni going up against 3 Seneca players right there and still being able to get the shot off, earning the foul. That shows you the kind of heart and hustle of a Patty Ivoroni right there.
Coach Jonker wanted the goaltending, the defensive interference. It seemed like one of the Seneca players grabbed the basket while that shot was going up, and I don't think you're allowed to do that in the game of basketball.
No, I believe they put
rules in against that. I think a lot more people would do that. I think when Wilton Still Chamberlain was doing that in 1959.
I think that's why they made those new rules. Then again, he did score 100 in a game.
First one is good for Ivoroni. Second one as well.
Good job by Pat being able to nail both from the line there.
Come up higher, Josh.
Fox Tapper's back in the game. So is York Fraser. Both of them touching the ball early on. Nice pass inside. Cornwall swings it outside Fox Tapper. He loses it. Ball's on the ground for Barr. Barr gets his strip loose. Ivoroni pump fakes. He goes in. Nice take. Finish with the right hand.
Strong take by Ivoroni to the hole.
Use the backboard
as well. Yes.
Use the backboard as a pick, kind of. Somebody didn't want to bang their head on it, as you see it again.
Come high, Kevin.
Good hang time as well.
Nice turnaround, Jay, by Burton. Great work.
Seems like every time Mohawk comes back, Seneca responds. So very back and forth first quarter thus far.
Hunt wants the 3. He misses, but he follows his own rebound, but it's already out of bounds before it lands. Kojo Afari's coming back in the game for Stephen Deli. And timeout on the floor for Mohawk, as they only lead by 1, 19-18 with 1:37 remaining. But you got to say, Seneca's coming out with some heart and some sting.
I will say that it doesn't seem like this team's lost 7 in a row.
No.
I don't see how they could have. I mean, the kind of first quarter they just put up, the defensive rebounding, the way they've been attacking the boards hasn't been maybe perfect on the offensive end, but I think their offense is a lot more, well, finely tuned than I thought they would be. Honestly, I don't think I've seen the Mohawk defense at its best. I know Pat just hit the floor, hopefully going to try and shut down a couple of the key components like York Fraser, but a very good start for Seneca offensively, can't lie. This is probably not the game Mohawk expected to be in, a 1-point game coming to the end of the first quarter. I think they would have been expecting a little more of a comfortable basketball game from themselves tonight.
And we were talking about how the continuity would look for Seneca. I think offensively it's on. Defensively, there are some holes that still need to be filled.
I think offensively we've seen a little more team play than we expected. I definitely think that it hasn't been great, but there's been more positives than negatives. But like you say, defensively, Mohawk missing some opportunities, some wide open looks, some early shots that maybe they didn't need to rush down into the shot clock. However, that's the game of basketball, and I mean there will be some, hits and misses. So as we go forward, I think the thing to look forward for Seneca is will they be able to keep that defensive pressure going, or will they be able to improve?
There was a deep trap on Malik Brown, went right through it.
And Seneca winning the ball there. Good hustle.
Yeah, great hustle by York Fraser to knock the ball back off Ivoroni. Minute 26 remaining in this first quarter. Gleer to inbound. Gives it off to Brown. He missed, but Barr has to keep it in. Hunt throws it away. Pump fake taken by Goodrich. Sends it out to Gleer. Gleer cuts baseline. Good ball movement. York Fraser pushes off. Ball's on the ground. Afari has it. And they're going to call the foul on York Fraser for, I think that was a very smart play by Afari. He put the ball underneath him, so the only way York Fraser could get the ball is going through him.
I think there, once again, active hands in the lane. As soon as Seneca crossing over into the paint there, active hands from Mohawk, able to kind of keep them at bay from making that one pass to the man standing under the bucket, and that's kind of kept Seneca from getting their shot off.
Barr missed, and he doesn't want to pick up a third foul. Malik Brown, look at the speed on him. Behind the back pass, and a little too fancy. And he knocks that one right out of bounds.
And again, I said earlier in the game, they want a slow-paced game. They may have fast players, but they do not want to run with Mohawk. It's more in those moments when you get the chance, can you use the speed to your advantage? And they've had some plays where they've created off the speed, but they quite haven't had the finish with the passing and the shooting.
Jeff Hunt puts up an awkward shot after a bunch of handoffs. 7 seconds separating the game and shot clock. York Fraser. Pick set there by Goodrich. York Fraser floats that one up from the free throw line, and nothing but net.
And you can feel Seneca doesn't feel out of this game, not at all.
Barr, Ivoroni for three. No. And good end to the quarter for Seneca. Now they went from 1 point down. Now they have a 1 point lead. Up 20-19 over Mohawk, and York Fraser's, he's as advertised.
Yeah, I will say I think the speed has been something that surprised me a little bit. I didn't think he was that fast. I didn't think they had a couple guys that had that kind of matching speed from the point position. So interesting to see how fast they're willing to bring the ball up. I didn't think that's the kind of game they wanted to play. I didn't think they wanted to match Mohawk with the kind of transition offense they do have. And as we watched, O.J. Watson will show you that transition offense can be deadly. It can be exciting, and it can get the momentum really swung in their favor. However, Seneca somehow able to slow it down a bit as it kept going and as it kept moving. They were able to kind of almost put their stamp on the game a little bit in that first quarter and say, the defense, we're going to be a little more physical than you, and we're going to be able to hold you from the transition game, but we're not afraid to run with you and push you either. So interesting, because I thought they played a little safer. I thought they wouldn't want to push. I thought they wouldn't want to compete with running up and down the court against a well-rested endurance, based team like Mohawk, but kudos to them. They've really played their game and been willing to mix it up a little bit in Mohawk style of game too.
Very even stats both ways, both shooting 47% from the field. Both teams haven't really been able to get it from three, only 1 for 5 per team. But Jermaine Hall's been solid with 11 points, and as we said, O.J. Watson 4 for 6 shooting, 9 points in that one big three-pointer. The numbers don't really pop out too much, but do you see anything, Nick?
I mean, the only thing that I would have to keep an eye on is just turnovers for both sides. A little bit high, 6 and 7 in the first quarter. That's not really a stat you like. 6 turnovers for Mohawk. I know Jonker's not going to like that. I think Seneca and Mohawk just need to be a little more comfortable and cautious on the ball. But at the same time, we are in a playoff game. The atmosphere does dictate sometimes how players handle things. So we've seen a little bit of rushing, a little bit of sloppiness, but we're bound to see that.
Collins takes it all the way. He'll take it to the line now. I think he kind of overthought that because they called the foul pretty early and they gave him a lot of continuation. I think if he finished, that would have been an M1. But Collins will go to the line for 2 shots nonetheless.
And that's one thing that I like about Collins' game is the willingness to go to the basket. I mean, that's what I think makes him and Barr 2 of the better players on this team. Albeit their size may not give them an advantage, they're unafraid with the size they do have to go into the spots and the spaces that they may not, be welcomed per se. But that's part of the game, and I think they excel at it, and I think that's part of what makes Collins such an asset to this team is his willingness to slash. I mean, we both know they have great shots, but wow, what willingness to get to the hoop, too.
Yeah, Collins is actually leading the team in points per game at 15.6. Great cut baseline, feeds it inside. Another chance. He gets an offensive rebound. How many offensive rebounds can a team get?
My goodness.
They're going to say last touch off Mohawk as well. That was Hall and Burton. Burton had a couple chances, then Hall was on the other side of the glass. York Frazier gives it off Hall. Gleer for 3. No. Bulugu's there. Smallest guy on the court. But no finish for the Sting.
And I will say that was a tough foul to take. Burton a little bit aggressive from behind. Might have got a little bump on the elbow of Hunt there. But like you were saying, a surprising attack of offensive rebounds, even from the most unlikely of characters, from their smallest guy there. So at the same time, Mohawk needing to get better defensive rebounding. Seneca needs to finish.
And there you go. Lamar Barr goes in, puts it nice and soft off the back rim and in. They have Malik Brown, number 11, listed at 6'3". I don't
If
think
Malik
so.
Brown is 6'3", then I'm 7'5", and I'll tell you right now, I don't think I've ever been above barely 6 feet. So there's no way Malik Brown is listed as 6'3" correctly.
Yeah.
However, I wish they would list me at 6'3",
He plays like he's 6'3".
because I'd get a lot more dates. But
Barr gets rejected. Watson has it. Baseline jumper, leaves it well short. Collins goes up and gets it. He gets hacked, so he'll go to the line again for 2 shots. Great work by Kareem Collins.
And again, Collins down low where he's really not the most, physically dominant in terms of his size and stature, but makes it seem like no one's going to outwork him for that rebound.
Gets in great positioning, knows how to box out, and those are the first 2 things they usually teach you in the game called basketball, as he misses the first shot short.
And the third thing would have been free throws, but I don't think he stuck around for that.
I never did. Hits the second.
Sting
picks it up. ISO.
I think they have yet to score at this point, Liam, in the second quarter, so they need something to drop down in that hoop.
Gleer. Burton leaves it short. And Collins is off and running. 1-2 around the defender and finishes with the scoot.
And that's worth a timeout, I will say. What a finish from Collins end-to-end with the speed. And not a single basket for the Sting to start this second quarter. And this is exactly what Jonker would have wanted, a really great first 2 minutes here from the Mountaineers.
Yeah, Mohawk on a 7-0 run to start the second. And Seneca, quick 3 fouls. And as we know, if you get to 5 fouls, every foul from then on, the other team's shooting. So they have, I think Mohawk might just pound it down low and hope for the foul, so then they continuously go to the line.
I mean, with a team like Seneca, with the amount of players that they've used this year, the players they're carrying in tonight, I mean, it's maybe not the decision was, we need guys to foul out, but it's that idea, like you do say, that to bring a team into the penalty with 5 to 6 minutes left in a quarter is unbelievable. And from then on, you're talking about every single foul at any point in the court, leading to 2 free throws. This is kind of, I think, exactly what Mohawk's looking for. Let's drive it down their throats. Let's make them, have to stop us somehow, whether it be foul or, just putting their bodies on the line and actually getting involved in the game. So let's, bring the game to them. And I feel like that's actually the best decision right now for the Mountaineers.
And what you can do then is continuously dish and drive. Drive and dish, excuse me. So if you're going and they think, oh, he's coming in again, dish it off to an Ivoroni, to a Durnick, to a Watson, to a Barr. Continue. Every player, most players on this team can pop the triple.
And 100% agree. The more they continue to drive, the more that three opens up. And we all know that is a clear, easy, general rule in basketball. So it was almost a great steal by Watson. And at the same time, he almost took out a family. Oh. So that shows you the power of the man himself. Goodness.
Not just a lady, an entire
like
family.
An entire family. That was a husband,
like the tree,
a child.
almost the tree came
I think
up.
the uncle was sitting near them. Goodness.
Hall takes it in, and that's so easy. Good finish with the offhand. And that's where Barr gets scared because he has a couple fouls.
And a good point.
Barr takes it in, and how? Just a little bit short. Tipped by Collins, but it got to him.
We're seeing a little stretch pass now from Seneca.
York Fraser's cutting baseline, then he switches it up. Goes all the way. Malik, boom. Malik Brown from the corner.
He shoots like he's 6'3". My goodness, though. What spot-up shooting from Brown, and Seneca really needing that, because as much as Mohawk has really failed to pull away in this quarter, Seneca has been shut down completely offensively, so they need to start finding a way to get baskets.
Collins and Watson working together as they give it back to Watson. Corner for Hunt. I'd like to see Hunt get down low more, but stripped away from Barr.
I think you make a good point. I'd like to see Jeff Hunt be setting up more himself in the paint than having to stand on the outside of the arc there.
Brown goes left all the way, tries to fade away. Great defense by Collins, and here's Watson again. What is he going to do? Oh, my God.
Oh, my goodness. Stand up and cry.
The tomahawk slam again.
You need to whip out the cheese and salami on that one. Oh, baby.
I haven't heard Chuck Swirsky references in so long.
That was a throwdown, though.
Burton missed. Afari with the rebound. There's Hunt. Hunt likes to shoot, but he's going to take it inside. Good defense by Burton. Swung left side, Watson. Afari. Afari's got hops. He could try to float it in, but he cannot. They're going to say last touch off of
And we have to take another look at what O.J. Watson just did to that rim. Afari, great stretch pass, and holy moly, when he cocked that joint back, he slammed her down.
Oh, God. Using the James Johnson now.
I might have had to throw that in.
Ugh.
Oh, that was worth about 10 more looks, though.
Afari spins left, goes left, and he gets fouled. I think that'll go against Kevin Cornwall. Yes, it will. So Afari will go to the line for two. One place he's really worked on in the last couple years is his free throw shooting. He's now shooting a 74% clip. Last couple years he's been around a 53% shooter.
That's a good improvement for a guy from Afari's position. You're being a forward. You're not really asked to do that a lot. It's not one of the more, needed parts of your game per se. So good work by him to put that time in on his own.
And he hits both to this trip. 6 minutes remaining. Mohawk leads Seneca 30-25. And look at the speed of Hall. And he runs right over Collins. But Collins takes her right in the chest and draws the charge.
And I will say, Mohawk, as smart and as good as they are on defense, or on offense, they are just as good defensively.
Look at that.
When you run at them like that, they will make the right plays. And as you mentioned, 5 fouls for Seneca now with just under 6 to play.
Barr up. This is short, but who's there? Kareem Collins on the putback.
Great work by Collins getting up there again, getting into the mix down low.
Trap attempt. Didn't work quite too well. Goodrich has it back. York Fraser. Good work by Afari showing. Gleer in the corner. No. Hunt takes down the rebound. They're going to say last touch off of him.
Well, I will say that's tough on Jeff because he really thought that it hit off, I believe,
I think it was Hall.
I believe it was Hall who had gone up with it, so he seemed like he believed it had definitely gone off Hall last.
Gleer takes it all the way, tries to scoop it up. He's been just off with his shot.
Tons of chances, none have fallen for him, so a real rough first half.
Watson crosses left, goes left. Hunt for three. Yes! That's what's great with Jeff Hunt. if he gets angry at any point, he'll just be like, I'll just put a dagger. I'll just put a big three or big dunk or big putback and just.
And I will say, he just comes off that, missed call. He felt it should have been their ball. A little bit of a turnover. And like you say, comes back and right in the face.
Great block by Kojo Afari. And quietly, the lead is now 10 for Mohawk as Patrick Ivoroni comes in. As it's been for the last couple years, Patrick Ivoroni off the bench is just, oh, okay, we're tired. We're tired. Patrick Ivoroni's coming on the bench? Oh, man. Now we got to work harder on offense and defense to play against him. Great work. Collins takes it in, scoops it up and in. Kareem Collins having the game of his life already, the half of his life, we'll say.
And I will say that point about Pat as we go into the timeout here for the roadside Seneca, that's something that, that's just such a bonus. You can't ask for anything more than him to be, what he is as an energy booster, as a defensive and offensive piece. And to add him to this right now in a 10-point game, to be bringing him in right now, this has got to be a bit of a, oh God, what we got ourselves into for Seneca here, because I don't see anyone on this bench for Seneca can be able to give that kind of impression to the game in the same manner.
But what can we say about Kareem Collins? Every time he cuts to the basket, it seems like he finds the littlest of spaces and he gets in and finishes with the right hand.
Kareem has been deadly tonight, I can't lie. He's one of their top scorers for a reason. I think the important part of Kareem's game is being, willing to not settle. I think that's a problem that I found with Barr and Kareem both this year. Lamar Barr and Kareem Collins have had such terrific games where I feel like they took the ball and didn't, weren't selfish per se, but just took control of the game, said this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to unleash my will on the other team. And at times this year I've seen them settle for jump shots, settle for passing up an opportunity they could take to the hole. I feel like Kareem Collins in this one especially, I know Lamar's sitting on 3 fouls like you said, so a little different spot for him right now, but for Kareem, here's a 0 fouls at this point. He's got the game in his hands. Let's be on the attack. Let's bring the game to Seneca. Make them foul me. Make them get me in a position to foul them, because right now I don't see anything stopping Kareem from continuing to drive the basket to the hole, because Seneca sure ain't.
In other Mohawk sports news, the Mohawk men's volleyball team has won the OCAA silver medals. They lost to Fanshawe in straight sets. And as you see, Coach Schnarr at the entrance with his silver medal. Very proud.
Congratulations to the Mohawk men's volleyball.
And off to nationals they go.
Part of the great Mohawk varsity sports we do have here that we bring you on M-Link.
Gleer. Another giveaway, back and forth. Gleer goes up. Hunt thought about blocking it, but probably would have been goaltending, so wisely does not. Collins, Watson wanted another dunk.
Oh my.
Hunt, awkward looking triple, leaves it short.
Ooh, a bit of a collapse in the background.
Yeah, 3-on-2 rush. Hall takes it up, right hand, no. Gleer, another rebound. So, excuse me, that's Cornwall.
And there's a little bit of a frisky shot there from York Fraser to
it was a
jack
triple.
that up. And by the way, that was Goodrich who fell on him pretty hard, but he looks fine now as he plays Collins straight up at the top here.
Collins gets it in Hunt. Hunt gets it stripped. He goes back up again, and one. That is not an easy shot. It looked like he had the ball right in his face, and he just pushed it up against the backboard.
Sometimes you're earning that call, you just throw it up there, and I will say on a play like that for Jeff Hunt, you heard that foul and that whistle go. It's really a millisecond. We all know that reaction, but thrust that thing up towards the hoop, and what does he do here? He gets himself a free two and a chance for one more.
Jeff Hunt's been averaging a double-double with 11 points, 11 rebounds per game as he misses at the line there. Let's see what York Fraser can do with 3:15 remaining in this first half. Wide open is Gleer, and now he hits.
And he's had his shots, like you said. He's had his looks. They found him open. He's getting himself open, but finally something goes down for him.
Ivoroni corner three. No. But Gleer picks it up, gives it off to York Fraser. York Fraser with the high dribble. Gleer pump fakes on Deli. Tried to get it in, and that was a forced play. Durnay crossing left. Thought he got pushed off. Here's Deli to help out. Hands it right back. Durnick all the way up, high off the backboard. No, gets his own rebound. Off to Collins. Collins corner three. He leaves it short. I'm not sure if that got tipped by York Fraser. But York Fraser wants the ball down here.
I know Collins gave the referee a look like he felt like he had his hand tipped on that, not the ball. And that might have just happened, but no call for him, so.
Clear left side, Goodrich. Goodrich hands it off to Hall. Hall jab steps. Is Durnick all in his kitchen.
Great defense from Ryan there.
Goodrich still pops it right in the face of Ivoroni.
Nothing you
Outstanding
can
play.
do about that. That is just a terrific jumper and terrific stand-up D, but sometimes you're going to have those. And I will say it was a 10-point game. The game has been a pretty back-and-forth one, so 6-point lead right now for Mohawk. They definitely still have control. 2 minutes to go in the half. I think this is their game, and they've been the better team this half still. So
Seneca is still getting their shots, and they're still crashing the offensive boards as well. So I'd like to see some more boxing out, and that's been the issue this year with Mohawk compared to last year, because last year they had Andrew Cicatini, they had Matt Fennell, they had a Taylor Dowhanick who's 6'10" on his own. But the tallest player on this lineup right here is Jeff Hunt at 6'6", so not a very tall squad, and neither is Seneca. But Seneca on the offensive boards and Mohawk on the offensive boards, they've just been playing bigger.
I will say, I think the game that Mohawk usually plays to get their rebounds, I think the game they play is based around crashing the glass as a team, as a unit. It's not all based up to Jeff. It's not based up to Jesse Broad when he's playing in the 4-5 position. I like that about them. I don't think they leave it to the classic roles of a player to have to be the only guys crashing the boards and getting rebounds. I love that Dornick and others like Barr and Collins will be in the face, of a defender jumping for those offensive opportunities. That's part of, I think, what has helped them, and in kind of denying the fact that they are short in a sense compared to other teams. But against Seneca, a very even matchup. So this is a game that Mohawk should have the advantage in, really.
Collins left side. Finds Durnick in the corner. Durnick cuts out. Ivoroni lands. Gives it off. Collins pump fakes right. Goes right. There he goes again and finishes.
I must say, the way he hangs in the air and finds time to adjust his shot properly, it's incredible right now. He's just in a good role and a good feel right now.
Take him on.
Hall swings it out. York Fraser, air ball, but Hall's there waiting for it, and Ivoroni takes it away from Hall. Hunt got in the way.
Shooter. Good, Josh.
Collins, Durnick for three. Yes!
Oh, hot tamales from down low. That one was all the way from downtown Kitchener, Ontario.
Good call. I like it. Hall going left side. Thought about shooting it. Gleer for three. That's a nice stroke. Great, perfect angle for us. That's money.
And that came all the way from Peterborough, Ontario. They're going from long range now, both teams.
Collins looking for something to happen. He's going to take it himself. Why not? Gives it off to Deli, and he finishes with the right hand. Good work.
A little bit of a surprising finish for Deli, but good job following up Collins, and Collins able to just keep that head up, focused, finds his open guy there. Easy bucket.
Stay in the corner, Josh.
Important last possessions here for Seneca in the half.
Hall takes it, gives it inside. Cornwall, he misses. Big rebound by Hunt.
Get a stop.
5 seconds separating shot and game clock. 25 on the game.
Oh my, a bit of a steal, but
Taken away
Hunt
by
just
York
lost
Fraser.
it.
Stop, pop, and drop. Last chance for Mohawk in the first half. Thought they'd take one shot, but Collins takes it up. They run into their own players, and Collins gets it back and finishes.
And I will say,
Two,
Seneca
one.
arguing as we come to the end here. Almost a shot that actually went down from afar from Cromwell. And a lot of arguing going from the Seneca bench. They really felt, Daryl Glenn thought that there was a foul as his player fell to the ground there. But the point counts for Collins, and that lead stretching back up to 10.
At the end of the first half, Mohawk leads 48-38 over the Seneca Sting.
So currently a 10-point lead, like you said, for Mountaineers. And I think, honestly, the keys to this game in the first half, we went through those three key points. And I think for Seneca, long-range strikes has not been there. So they haven't had quite the game that they wanted to from beyond the arc. They haven't got those kind of opportunities. No. Slowing the pace down, not really. They've decided not to. I don't know if they feel like they should be transitioning more and trying to keep up with Mohawk, or if they feel like their game has just been working out better as they try to run the floor and spread Mohawk a bit. And as well, I think as for which thing we'll see, first half thus far, we've seen this thing that we're the 5-game winners more so.
Yeah.
A team that actually can compete with Mohawk, because I didn't think that team that had lost those last 7 games really had a chance today. So different team today, and that's a good positive for Seneca.
Christine has an interview for us. Who you got, Christine?
Collins, after an incredible first half, this is a very tight game. Were you anticipating this closeness of a game coming in?
Yes, earlier in the year we played them, and I think we won by only a couple of buckets, so I knew it was going to be a close game throughout the game.
Yeah, now we saw you guys coming alive in the second half, or in the second quarter. What can we expect from you in the second half of the game?
We just need to pick up the pace on offense and make sure we get to the foul line, and the game should come to us.
Perfect. Well, keep that energy going. We can see you're working hard. Good luck in the second half. Liam?
Christine, we're going to leave you this first half with some highlights, and we'll be back with the second half. Liam Dunlop, Nick Burney, and we'll hear from Christine Midgley in just a little bit. So a couple stats that really jump out to me are Kareem Collins with 15. We can't talk about him enough. OJ Watson with the huge dunks and a couple threes with 11. And Jeff Hunt quietly, 9 points and 8 rebounds. And also the player of the game so far for Seneca is Jermaine Hall with 13 points, 3 assists, a block, and a steal. What really jumps out of the page for you, Nick?
I think the most important thing for me, I mean, from Seneca's point of view, we talked about three-point percentage, and as we highlighted, 38.5% in the first half. A little better than Mohawk's 33.3, but not a whole lot better. Not enough to actually make that impact that they need to change the game. At the same time, one other thing I've noticed, points off turnovers, 18-10 for Mohawk. Not a big lead, but something that they need to improve upon and get better with. And also total field goal-wise, field goal percentage, Mohawk shooting 50% that first half, so very good job from the Mountaineers.
And Christine has a little something for us. Christine, go ahead.
Thanks, Liam. I had a chance to talk to Seneca's coach over the halftime, talk to him about some of the challenge they experienced in the first half. Offensively, they were having some struggles. He said that they're way too content getting the jump shots. He needs to see more of his team getting to the rim and really going for more of the threes. Now on the defensive side, they really haven't stopped Mohawk's penetration of the zone. The second half will definitely focus on slowing them down and keeping them out. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Christine. See what Collins can do. Cut right in, lose the ball, but he gets it back and finishes.
And if there's one, I will say, if there's one thing we've seen from Kareem all night, it's that ability to hang in the air, make changes to his shot, and even there, got a little block, came right back down with it, easy putback.
And I have to clear up a little bit of confusion. The man shooting right now is not Gleer. I got it a little bit confused. It is actually Devontae Nunes. Sorry about the confusion there. We had a little bit of a mix of numbers, a little bit of a number roulette.
Don't worry, sir. Game. It was listed that it was Andre Glean, as we had in the first half, who was wearing number 1. Unfortunately, like you said, Devontae Nunes now, of course, wearing number 1 for Seneca. But that goes along with having an 18-player team and a lot of switches, of jerseys. Yeah.
Ivoroni back to Collins. Wide open is Watson, but Collins takes it himself because he's got the hot hand, and he's going to keep on nailing him.
Quickly up to 19, almost touching the 20 mark, and we've barely gotten underway in the second half.
Mohawk now up 12, 52-40, 8:35 remaining. York Fraser shows, he gets. Big pick set there by Cornwall. Let's see if he'll get it back. Actually, York Fraser will take it himself. Ball's tipped out to Nunes. Nunes up and under. Couldn't get the spin. Horn honked, but Nunes got the ball off the rim. Good backdoor pass by Hunt, and Watson finishes with the layup. What a pass by
look,
Hunt.
yes. And that's not expected from Jeff. It's maybe not his, part of his game really to be finding the man, but what a backdoor find there. And what a finish by Watson as well to go up and under with the right hand.
Watson does not allow Nunes to get the easy pass.
A good start, strong defense, and I think quickly Brown coming in to try and get a little bit of the offense back in things and a little bit of that speed more on the court for Seneca.
And there he is. Gives it off to York Frazier. There's 5 on the clock. And Ivoroni steals it away. He's got a couple men with him. Ivoroni takes it himself, finishes up and under.
And there's the athleticism we've talked about from Pat Ivoroni. It starts with that D, that great defense, and then what does he do? Turns it right into quick offense. What a cut to the basket there from Pat as you look on the replay. Great shot from our guy underneath. Terrific camera angle.
Yeah, good work by this Mohawk television group. It's been a pretty long semester.
They've put in the work, no lie.
They have put in the work. We're doing basketball, volleyball, McMaster basketball, volleyball, and corporate events. And it's just outstanding what the first, second, and third years have done so far.
So big shout out to the boys in the truck for a great job done.
Hall, step back. Brown, no. Hunt has it, but he gets taken away by York Frazier. He wants the 3. No.
And look
gets his
at
own
that.
rebound, hands it off.
What play right now, and I must say, as you were attesting to, great work by the Seneca Sting as they lose a bit of control there down low, but
Brown
work
tries
on the
to put
offensive
it-
glass.
There it is again, and Hall's now wide open for 3, and he nails it. You can't give him that many opportunities.
6, 7, 8 chance points. I will say, what work from Seneca on the offensive glass.
Collins going right, spinning left. They're going to call the foul on York Frazier.
And I feel like Kareem right now, when the ball is in his hands, Seneca really struggling to figure out how to stop him. They don't want him to cut.
Yeah.
They're kind of dropping off him there. But the moment they drop off, he nails that long-range jumper, and he puts the pressure back on them the next time down the court to play him up, and he earns a foul. So really, I think they're at a loss with Kareem Collins right now. He has them just, befuddled at what to do really to stop him.
Yeah, he really has them at their mercy. And in the dishing they've done, like as we said, Jeff Hunt with the great backdoor look. And Coach Jonker, you just have to be so pleased with how you came out the second half, because it was a little too close for comfort in that first half so far.
I think Brian knows that in that first half, like we saw Duffy with the women's game earlier today, I think Duffy came out with that second half plan, we need to attack more. I think Jonker takes a page out of that book. Less aggressive kind of finish to the half. They did come on a little strong, push that lead up, but you got to continue that. You got to bring that out right from the tip of the second half, and they have. I don't think that Seneca has really shown their best, but that last possession, that's a little more of what Seneca needs. They need to be matching that aggressiveness, or they will get down in this game pretty quickly. And we saw Mohawk put points on the board already, 8 in this quarter alone. So if they let up a bit, Mohawk will really kind of spread this gap. So Seneca's got to be on the ball here and be feisty.
It'll be Mohawk's ball. 3-point line extended on the left side. And it looks like they're going right to Collins. And Brown does not want that. Quick play to Ivoroni. He misses. Nobody on the weak side rebound.
And I think Jermaine Chisholm in for the first time for Seneca. We haven't seen him yet, so we'll see if he adds a little bit of pace to this. He is a smaller player.
He has it right here. Trying to post up on Durnick, about the same size. Great work by Chisholm, but he gets blocked out by the bottom of the rim. Ball gets tipped out. Durnick, Watson up and under, and great finish by Watson. Watson really showing this hometown crowd of his what he can do in his last game here in Hamilton.
Definitely showing off some of his top skills and what control on that rush there.
Hall, crossing over. You don't see Ivoroni get crossed up too much, but Ivoroni got right back. Good attempt by Cornwall. He could not finish. Watson feeds it inside Hunt. Hunt misses the layup. Good defense by Jermaine Hall to just disrupt the thinking of Jeff Hunt.
And a nice little dribble play there by Brown to earn the foul on Ivoroni.
Yeah.
And I think Pat, last couple times down the floor, they've been really aggressive going at him, something that we don't usually see from teams. I don't think they, usually would try to pick out a Pat Ivoroni to attack defensively. Not always the smartest decision, but interesting from Seneca going right at him. And he obviously now comes off for a bit of a sub.
Chisholm had it, gave it off to Brown right side. Quick little bounce pass into Hall. Hall with Barr all over him, wants to back up and get the pick by Burton. Excellent heads-up play, but now only 1.3 seconds left to do something with for the Sting.
I think Yonker actually not displeased with that call, considering I think if anything, you would prefer having Seneca have this tough shot.
They're just saying that the shot clock, because there's no decimal point on the shot clock that says 1.3 instead of 13, because that could
a little bit of
feel
an explanation for
confusing.
the coaches and players, especially of Seneca.
And Hall's going to chuck it up from half.
Oof.
Not bad, but he didn't hit the rim. So that's a shot clock violation, and again, a great defensive effort, great defensive possession by Mohawk. As we see York Frazier come back in, he's going to take out Hall.
There hasn't been a lot of scoring in this early third quarter, the first half of it, first 5, so a little bit more of a choppy, and as you can see there, good drive by Barr, but not a lot of offense working right now for either side, I say.
Yeah, it looked to be good defense by Burton, but they're going to call the foul, a little whack on the arm, I guess they'll say. And Barr will go to the line for 2 shots.
I think it's good to see Lamar still being aggressive and going to the rack, as you see a nice replay there from our boys in the truck. And I think as long as he can keep that kind of aggressive flow in his game, I mean, 3 fouls is tough to play with for sure, but he can't lose his aggressiveness and attacking the hoop, because that is still one of the keys to his game.
Barr splits the 2. 4:40 remaining in this third quarter. Mohawk 59, Seneca Sting 43. So the lead now 16 for the Mountaineers, who were OCAA gold medalists last year. Ball rattles out. Easy finish by Chisholm.
Good follow-up from Jermaine Chisholm for his first points of the night.
Barr's going to drive. Dish out to Hunt. Hunt's going to miss. Tipped out to York Frazier. York Frazier's rushing the floor. He has a very high dribble for such a little guy. Gives it off to Brown. York Frazier pump fakes. Still has it. Goes right side. Throws it very hard at Goodridge. Brown. Chisholm. Chisholm gets it poked loose by Durnick. Now 1.6 left on the shot clock.
And what
great
terrific
work by
work
Mohawk.
of boxing them out. That is hands down one of the better, defensive sets I've seen from the Mountaineers in this game. Just keeping everything in front of them. Nothing, available. Seneca didn't want to jack up any of those long-range shots. They didn't feel comfortable on any, and even on that last-minute cut there by Chisholm, he really had no space in the paint to work with.
They're going to jack it up with Brown. A little short, but he hits the rim, and he retains his own offensive rebound.
Another offensive board for the Sting.
See what Chisholm could do. Big pick set there by Burton. Hands it off. York Frazier. Air ball, and that is a shot clock violation.
And Seneca early struggling to get the shots they want. The easy shots are not there, which has been terrific, defense from the Mountaineers. Got to give them credit. Seneca really needing to find a way to get in that paint more. They're just really not moving enough on offense right now.
Cream Collins gets a well-deserved rest as Stephen Deli, Kojo Afari, Ryan Durnick, Lamar Barr, and Jeff Hunt are the 5 for the Mountaineers.
And another quick shot there from Mohawk. I don't think Brian Jonker wants these quick pop-up J's.
Durnick goes up with one hand and attempts to take it down, but he falls out of bounds first. That would have been outstanding, Odell Beckham Jr. style.
And that was a terrific interception.
Let's take another look.
Great hustle from Dornick, and
that was great hustle by our camera guy to get over there.
That was also a great hustle to make the turn.
Good work.
Wonderful job from up top.
Brown has it. Crosses up. Has an awkward looking jumper, but almost was effective. 3 minutes remaining in this third quarter now.
Good, good. Squeeze.
I don't think Durnick's going to take this. They're going to waste as much time on the shot clock as they can. Durnick crossing left, stepping back. He can shoot that. Leaves it short. Hunt spins while taking the ball, and he loses it to Burton. Burton tosses it up to Chisholm. Can he dunk? No, but he can finish it with the right hand.
He may be listed more correctly, but at the same time, good finish from Chisholm on that play and a good lead-out pass after a bit of a sloppy play by Hunt. Got to be a little more in control of that ball down there. And
Deli.
another sloppy play right there by Deli.
Yeah, he loses it. I think he was trying to either go for the back, behind the back pass. Brown for three, rattles out. Good pick up by York Frazier. York Frazier takes it up. All the way left side. Burton for three. Yes!
What a finish from the corner from Burton. My goodness.
And Seneca's bench is up in arms right there as they cut the lead to 9.
And we are going to have ourselves a heck of a finish to this third quarter now. Mohawk, I believe, getting the timeout called. And as you say, 59-50. This is definitely not a game that's out of reach. Mohawk has sort of still kept the pace. I don't think we've really seen them get too worried. The lead hasn't gotten too short in a while, but at the same time, Seneca, every now and then, they get down by about 15. Seems like they give a pushback, and we saw that in the game earlier today with George Brown and Mohawk in the women's. So would I expect this to continue? I have to say so. I think Seneca they understand what's at stake here. Obviously, both teams do, but they're playing like they understand what's at stake, and that's something that I think we can look forward to, hopefully being a good ending to this ball game.
They kind of play games like their season has gone. They start out strong. They have a little bit of a soft point in the middle, and then they're just a strange team. They're a very streaky team, let's call it. Let's just call it a streak.
I think you're right, though. Just like how basically the game has gone up to this point with just 2 minutes to go in the third. It's been a streaky game.
Yeah.
Exactly like their season. Hot, cold. Who's the real Seneca?
Yeah.
And I mean, like we said in the first half, I think we've seen more of the successful sting. But at the same time, that's not a guarantee. Like as we come to the bigger points in this game right now, will they be that Seneca?
Durnick to Afari. Afari 1-2 step up. He did not travel. Gives it to Durnick. Durnick pops the shot, and that's good. The deep 2, they call it.
Can't be leaving Ryan open for those. We've seen him bury those plenty of times.
Offensive foul called off ball. They're going to call that on York Frazier.
And I mean, those are fouls that at this point in the game, Seneca can't afford.
No.
Not only are you taking them on the offensive end, but you're doing it with a guy in York Frazier that you know you need to be on the court. And so now as he takes a seat, like this is an important set of 2 minutes here without York Frazier.
Durnick right side. Swings it. Durnick continues with it. And 1.
And that is the ability of this Mohawk team. Shooting, driving, it seems like most have that ability, and that's kind of where defensively you run into problems trying to stop an offense like this.
And the shot is good, so three-point play the old-fashioned way. And here's Nunes, another ball carrier. We've seen multiple players take up the ball for the Sting. They're just trying to figure out what would happen. They're going to call the foul on Cream Collins for holding back Chisholm, not allowing him to find any open space. Brown has it. And they're going to call that foul against Durnick, a little tic-tac fouls.
And remember, Seneca's still with that 5 fouls, and Mohawk now climbing up to 3, so Seneca's been a little bit, withheld, and probably in particular for that reason, but Mohawk quickly committing some foul trouble of their own.
Nunes looking for something. Burton back to Nunes. Good take and finish off glass softly.
Wonderful work there. Seneca with an easy bucket, well earned.
Barr has it, cuts through everyone and gets the easy bounce and in.
And I don't know what it feels like, but it feels like it's slipping away now a little bit from Seneca defensively. They're allowing easy cut-throughs the lane. That was 2 of the easier buckets you'll see. Dornick and Barr back-to-back.
Goodrich gives it off Nunes. He misses. Barr's fighting for the rebound. Keeps bouncing around. He picks it up. Let's see what Barr can do. Barr crossing left. Dornick, deep triple. Rattles out. But look who's there. Oh, Barr almost. Actually, that was Kareem Collins that got up there.
A heck of an attempt from Kareem. He came down a little hard, though, on his leg, and he's limping back. So this is interesting. Collins does not look full health after coming down on that ankle.
10 on the game clock. Dornick has to get it across, and he does. What a pass to Hunt. Step back. Short, but look who's there. Kojo Afari.
Kojo Afari for the putback. A bit of a funky ending to that quarter, but kind of with the feeling of the way this game's gone, maybe that was just the way it should be.
Let's take a look at some of those third quarter highlights.
And I think what you're going to see a lot in these third quarter highlights, a lot of finishing from Mohawk, down low work in the paint. I think we saw about 4 or 5 up and under lay-ins in that quarter alone, just from the Mountaineers. And yes, Seneca was getting their shot off at times, but when you're allowing points like O.J. Watson and Dornick and Barr back-to-back down the court, free lanes like that, I mean, that's when you start to get a score that starts to run up to a 16-point lead. And you know what? This is not the game Seneca can play if they want to stay even remotely close to Mohawk in this fourth quarter.
And to finish off there with Dornick getting the easy bounce. So Mohawk leads 68. Seneca has 52 with 1 quarter remaining. We're just waiting to get some stats, but I do like what I'm seeing from this Mohawk squad, but the offensive prowess that we've seen at the beginning of the year in the last couple years still isn't totally there. They average about 91 points per game, but as you were saying at the beginning of the game, those last couple games they've been averaging around 80, and their offense just hasn't quite been there. So what do you think's been the difference?
I think one of the things tonight, obviously at a 70-point pace with 3 quarters, I think they're going to better that. Probably end up around 90. Still not their game, though, like you said. Still not Mohawk Mountaineer offensive basketball. We know this team has been one of the top scoring teams. Team consistently above 100 in points per game. Maybe not, per game every single game, but for the most part, that's where they like to hover around because that's when they're successful. If anything I've noticed that has held them back, I think in games that they played towards the end of the year, injuries are always a factor, but injuries can lead to other things where you have issues of who picks up what slack, who's filling what role, and when you have 5 new guys as a team on the floor, it can be hard for them to find out who sets what role, who fills what piece. Maybe they're sort of coming into it. I don't think we've seen the best of them by far, and I think you know that too, but that might be something that they're slowly getting better with, dealing with who's not around and being able to adjust to that.
We're back underway. Afari finishes with the left hand. As we get the stat sheets, Kareem Collins 19, O.J. Watson 15. Jeff Hunt 1 more point away from another double-double in his illustrious Mohawk career. And Jermaine Hall 18, 7, 3, and 2 steals.
And quietly, almost double-doubles for Devontae Nunes and Joshua York-Frazier with 8 and 6 each respectively through 3. So not the most impressive of games, but solid nonetheless for Seneca.
Timeout, please.
Watson gets a finish there.
When we hear a timeout coming from Daryl Glenn, he is already within a minute of this fourth quarter displeased.
Nunes has it here. Up fakes. Gives it off. Cornwall. No. Ball's tipped around. Cornwall gets it back. He's going to go up strong. A little too strong off the glass, but he'll go to the line for 2 shots after he got hacked.
And good work down low by Cornwall. I feel like at the same time, that's really not the guy they want the ball in his hands taking those shots. He's not made many tonight. He's been very strong off the glass. He really hasn't had the touch around the basket. So that's the guy that Mohawk wants the ball in his hands and want to put him at the line, as you can see.
He missed the first one. On the season, yes, 40% shooter at the line. 50% at that trip.
And interesting to know for Mohawk, Jesse Broad hasn't touched the floor tonight, not once. We've seen very little of Jerome Gale as well.
As Ryan Dornick pops the 3 all the way from Hess Village. Hall gives it off. Nunes. Great work by Cornwall, as you were just talking about. Strong on the glass.
He may not finish, but I'll tell you, he is definitely being a nuisance grabbing boards. He's making himself known down there, and I'm sure he's laid the body on quite a few of the Mountaineers, so they'll remember number 3 at the end of this one. He's definitely had a physical presence.
First one's off the back rim.
But again, not making those shots, and this has been an issue. Seneca, points that they need. They cannot be blowing these kind of scenarios, and they fall farther and farther back. The more times down the court, they do not get their points.
Set it!
Splits them again as Mohawk leads by 21, 75-54 with 8.5 remaining. Almost an amazing up and under by Watson, but he hits the bottom of the backboard. Good hustle by York Frazier. Nunes, corner triple, no. Nunes has shot a lot, but he hasn't been too productive on the offensive end, as Ivoroni cannot hit the layup. Nunes pushed off. And there's the foul on Watson. I think they were giving it a little bit late because he fouled him the first time for sure, but then they called it there. That'll be ball underneath the basket. And that's 3 quick fouls on Mohawk to start this fourth quarter with only less than 2 minutes going.
So definitely a little foul trouble for the Mountaineers, but again, they usually not too much into the foul trouble. So I think the message here from Jonker will be stay patient and have a controlled aggressiveness.
Another missed shot, this time Jonathan Harvey cannot get it to go. Hunt left side. Feeds it into Afari. Ivoroni 1-2 step up. No good. Hall takes it down. Good
Great
defense by Barr.
Wonderful hands in the passing lane from Lamar Barr.
Barr to Hunt. He misses, but he'll go to the line for 2 shots. But wow, we saw that happen in the women's game when there was a 3-on-1 rush, and the one place you don't want to pass it is to the other player's hands.
And I have a feeling like that is just, maybe a little bit of the playoff atmosphere, a little bit of the rush. Then again, it is the fourth quarter. A lot of things coming into play, but like you said, 1 man back, 3-on-1 rush. Kind of ironic, twice in the same day we've seen the same mistake made. So just one of those things, you got to have a heads up. And Lamar Barr made a heads up play. He kind of stayed in the middle, kept his options open on to what side he was taking. And as you mentioned here, Jesse Broad coming in for his first visit to action.
Yeah, after the timeout taken by Seneca, they're down by 22. What do you think Coach Glenn is going to be saying to his men? Because it's nothing to lose now. It's win or go home, as I said at the beginning.
I think with 7:43 left, there's time. I think everyone who knows basketball, there's plenty of time. I mean, 22 points is a heck of a deficit. But to chip away at it, it's 5 here, it's 5 there, 5 there in the next 2 minutes. There's enough time for them to come back. If I'm Glenn, I'm saying 3 key things. 1, stop the easy transition buckets. We cannot allow these guys to drive to the hole. Make more fouls if necessary. Just put them on the line. They got to be able to get those points. You can't just let them walk in with them. At the same time, if I'm Glenn, I'm also trying to reiterate the fact that Seneca's keys here, from my point of view, was to slow down the game and use transition at key points and times. If Mohawk is running the floor, I hate to say it, in a game of 22 points, you do need to be faster with the ball, but you have to pick and choose. So for him, I think they want to be able to move the ball down the floor, and they want to be able to, use their speed to their advantage. But you got to be cautious. You can't get caught up court. And at the same time, like we just saw, Barr, 1 man back on a 3-on-1, makes that interception. As they come back up the court, what happens? A 4-on-2 the other way. So they need to have a little more of the give, the want, the will kind of to match up against Mohawk. Because right now I think Mohawk is literally outplaying them, outwilling them, and just outdoing them in every kind of category, and not statistically, but just by work ethic. And that's, I think, how they gotten this 22-point lead now at this point.
It came out of nowhere, really. It just ballooned. And as you said, Jesse Broad and Jeff Hunt now, so they're really trying to work on boxing out, not giving up second chance opportunities. As Hall takes it, and that bounces off his foot. So that'll be another turnover. And turnovers have been a big issue as well. 13 through 2, excuse me.
I believe it was, they had 15 turnovers, Seneca, through 3 quarters, 12 for Mohawk. So both teams have turned the ball over quite a bit. However, I will say, like you said, and we've mentioned multiple times, can't be losing chances to score when you're down this much.
York Frazier has it here. He's been pretty quiet for his usual standards. Gives it off, and the easy roll in for Cornwall. Got the friendly shooter's bounce. Barr's going to chuck it up. What a pass to Hunt. Gives it off to Watson. Watson to Broad. Broad finishes with the right hand.
And as sad as it is to say, that is exactly what, if I was Glenn, would have not wanted to see. You do not want to see easy buckets in transition, and Seneca getting caught on their full court press and looking pretty awful in the end.
As you can see, that brilliant passing there. They're going to call offensive foul. Actually, stepping out of bounds.
The foot, left foot there, his heel touching the black marker.
Right in front of us.
Right there, same thing.
Bar fakes deep, gives it off to Watson. They played a lot of basketball together.
Seneca now going to a 3-2 zone, 3 at the top. They're trying to put more pressure on at the top of the perimeter, but they're really leaving Mohawk open down low, and it's creating a lot of problems for themselves.
A little bit of a speed mismatch right there as Collins gets fouled by Harvey down low. 6.5 minutes remaining. And there he is again, using that speed, going up, and he gets hit again. So 2 fouls on Harvey and within about 4 seconds.
And Collins is a pleasure to watch sometimes as a basketball fan. The drive and the ability to muck it up with guys bigger than him, and just no fear. So he's earned all these points. He's earned these trips to the line for sure tonight.
First one is good.
Box out, box out.
Second one as well.
Here we go.
So Collins now
Hey, up,
in
up,
over
up,
20 points in such a big game, qualifying for the OCAA championship tournament. York Fraser tries to spin out, taken down by Burton. Burton's going all the way, misses with the left. And Broad doing what he does best and sneaking in the rebounds.
23, 23, 23, stay there.
Watson going to set something up. Zone defense being shown by Seneca, and the collapse defense as well.
Go.
As Barr cannot finish with the left hand. York Fraser using that speed, going out in against Hunt. There you go.
There's a great push from York Fraser. And again, smart decisions to run the court. There he saw only 2, Mohawk defenders running back, decided to bring the pace to them.
23.
Hunt thought about taking that shot.
And I think Jonker will like that he thought differently in the end.
Barr faked the shot, goes up, under, and he gets blocked. He gets it back, missed. Hunt finishes. Now
and
he has a
that's where you
double-double.
want Jeff Hunt shooting. I know that he has the range, but that early in the shot clock, great decision by Jeff to wait, leads to a shot down low, and eventually he's the benefactor. So
great take by Jonathan Harvey as well. Switching right through the heart of the defense, finishing with the left hand off glass. There's where you want Hunt scoring from too.
And that was beautiful. Jeff with the read. This time quick buckets are okay, I guess, if you're flying to the rack like that. And another replay. Barr, perfect lob pass. Great job by Hunt to hang in the air and make the play.
York Fraser gets cut off. Nice pass inside. Good finish by Cornwall.
Here we go. 23.
Barr takes it. He's going to slow it up. Gives it over to Collins. Collins getting swarmed. They're going to call the foul there on Goodridge.
I believe his name is actually Kevin Cromwell. But at the same time, Cornwall is a wonderful place. I've gone there for lunch, and occasionally I've stayed there even for a day. So, I mean, it's written a couple different ways, but either way, the man's had a good game down low. Very good rebounding. Hopefully his points can help Seneca kind of stay in this, but definitely not the guy you want with the most touches. So
Collins up there. Collins going all the way. Finishes with the left hand.
more Kareem Collins, the same thing. Attack, attack, attack. You got to love it.
Lead up to 26. Mohawk 88, Seneca 62. York Fraser, who's one of the keys to the game, we said, not having one of his best games of his career. Hall has it here. Gives it off. Goodridge.
Good range.
That is good.
Wonderful range from Goodridge. Good pass from Hall, who's had quite a game himself, to be honest, with the points and rebounds, but not much more he can do, number 9 for Seneca tonight.
Collins loses the ball trying to get past half, and that's a foul. Definitely against Ibroni being a little too aggressive. And this is going to be a good way for guys like Ivoroni, Hunt, Afari, Watson, all those guys. This is going to be their last game at Mohawk as players. I always say as players because you never know what their future careers hold. They love the game of basketball. You never know if they're going to be a coach. They are former coaches on most likely both sidelines, so you never know where their careers will take them. But 3.5 minutes remaining. Mohawk 88, Seneca 65, and this is what you want to see from Mohawk going into the OCAA championship tournament.
I think this is the game that Jonker wants to build off. Some positive that I know they've won some games at the end of the year, but we watched that tail end and we watched them tail spin to the tail end of the year. It wasn't fun, it wasn't exciting basketball, and it definitely wasn't Brian Jonker's version of Mountaineer basketball. So I think all things said, this is exactly what he wants. Maybe he could have asked for better D here and there, a few things that he would have changed up, but this is kind of, exactly what he could have wished for. I think this team needed this. I think Kareem Collins having the game that he's having is beautiful because, you need someone that you can put that faith in, and I know for years Matt Fennell was that guy.
Yeah.
So to have someone like Collins sort of take that role slightly on his shoulders in a game like this, I think that's a good sign going forward. I think Kareem's the type of guy that can bring you more of that going forward. And I definitely see this from Kareem and Lamar going forward in the next few games. The way they've been playing tonight has been terrific.
Good defense by Broad, keeping his arm straight up. York Fraser has to take it. No.
And a good board by Collins there as well.
Ivoroni trying to post up, gives it over to Collins. Collins jab steps, gives it over to Gale. Gale attempts the fadeaway triple. No go, Jerome Gale. Big boy out of St. Basil the Great in Toronto. Ivoroni goes up and gets the rebound.
And terrific job by Pat down low, battling with the bigger boys.
Tried to give it to Broad, did Hunt, and throws it away.
Better pass to the referee almost on that one, but a little miscommunication from Mohawk down low.
Errant whistle there, substitution.
And one thing that I did want to mention about Seneca, they do have a couple players that might be playing also in their last game. Goodridge, a 5th year. Tevin Goodridge, number 5, as well as possibly a last year for Kevin Cornwall or Cromwell, depending on how they say it. He's in his 4th year. So a couple players that might also be enjoying their last game, but not the worst of games for them either. We've seen some good things from both those guys. So proud owners of good OCAA careers, I believe, in the end.
Broad, Gale, off the head of Cornwall.
And a couple more substitutions for Seneca, trying to freshen things up. Coming down to this last 2 minutes, they just kind of pushing to the end, now trailing by 23. This game has definitely got out of reach and not the kind of finish we were hoping for, but
6 on the shot clock to work with, and Gale goes up and down. That's called a travel. Looks like it might be Jonathan Harvey's last game as they're giving big hugs.
Yeah, a lot of things happening on the Seneca bench as they come forward here with just 2 minutes to go.
Nice dribble behind the back by Hall and up and under. Nice finish with the left hand. Ivoroni gets it past half, gives it over to Broad. Hunt. Broad triple. No. Nunes will go out and run. He's got Hall wide open left corner. And they find him. He's got all day. He misses off the back rim.
Another board for Jeff Hunt, just racking him up now.
Ivoroni up. Collins catches it awkwardly.
Another hard fall from Collins. He's taken a few tonight. Hopefully he'll bounce back quick. Seems okay.
Get out of here, Jeff Hunt.
Get out of here, Jeff Hunt. And like you were saying, if you wanted to leave us with any lasting impression of Jeff Hunt, I think that right there would be the best thing to remember him by.
Let's take another look.
Come into my house and Mr. Hunt will let you out the front door with a little bit of that.
Here's a standing ovation for Jeff Hunt right here.
And that is exactly the way you want to end
Very nice
an OCAA
ovation.
career at home, by getting a big block in your final set. So wonderful for Jeff there.
Congratulations to him on a great OCAA career. OCAA gold medalist multiple times. And CCAA career, making it to the bronze medal game last year.
And also, I believe he was a champion in 2011, 2012, the Mountaineers. The only man still left from that roster on today's squad.
Brown up,
Oh,
there you go.
And there's a little highlight package for you. We'll be sending that one to Seneca College later tonight. A little highlight from Jermaine Hall.
And
showing
Nunes
some
with a little
hops.
spin. Tries to go off behind the back, but it goes off broad. Everyone's just spinning around like crazy.
Game
My
opening
Brony
up a
in.
bit in the last 30, I'd say.
Let's see if Gale can get one. Yes, Gale gets some points. He puts his 2 on the board. Six-second separating game and shot clock, 10 this one. So unfortunately for Seneca, they'll be going home as a very streaky year comes to an end, as we were talking about. And Ivoroni's going to dribble it out. Actually, he's going to pass it over to Stephen Deli.
And what a finish. Mohawk getting the win the way they wanted, I will say.
And Mohawk is off to the OCAA championship tournament as they defeat the Seneca Sting 90-71. What a great game. But we can mention a couple guys: Kareem Collins, OJ Watson, Jeff Hunt, Patrick Ivoroni, Kojo Afari, all the seniors. Thank you for great careers, for sure.
Yeah, terrific end to the career. I mean, of Jeff Hunt. We saw it in the last couple plays there. That was just terrific. That almost was just that little extra oomph to kind of make it all feel like it came to a solid, solidifying end. At the same time, I thought it was really, the game got started today in the greatest of manners for Mohawk.
Yeah.
OJ Watson. Sometimes you want to say he can fly because you watch the hops of the guy and it's just unbelievable. I feel like he could jump out of the building. But it was that play, watching him cut in down the left, right in front of us, right across the middle. He threw that down with such fierce power, and just the kind of the emotion that brought with it, I think kickstarted that 8-0 lead. Now maybe, Seneca gets back in that game, but it's things like that and the continuance of those kind of powerful plays offensively that I think just took Mohawk to another level. It didn't allow Seneca any chance to ever get a real feel for this game and feel like they were in it. So in all honesty, I didn't think Seneca really brought their best effort, and I think Mohawk took it to them for most of this game, and honestly, they deserved to win by the final score that they did. So.
But the player of the game was definitely the rookie, Kareem Collins, and he just played outstanding. He put up at least 25 points, and he was shooting it from outside, but the drive-ins were just outstanding.
I think it's something to watch going forward for Kareem. I think this is a guy with a lot of potential, things that haven't really gone all that well for him this year, whether it's been injuries and time missed, but tonight he puts it all together, and it's just that little glimpse of what you could see going forward in the future, and it's great. A lot of positives there. So,
Christine has an interview for us. Who you got, Christine? Sorry about that. A little bit of technical difficulties. That happens. But thank you to everyone at the Mohawk College Television Broadcasting. Let's just take one last highlight pack. So for Nick Burney and Christine Midgley, I'm going to say one last thank you. I'm Liam Dunlop. This is going to be my last show for Mohawk College. Hope to see you one day soon. Have a great night.
Take care.